Hey guys, welcome to another installment of the Academy, and thanks for watching. Got a big one for you today. Mannerheim Cross just showed up from Bounding Fire Productions. Seems like I'm blowing my retirement on ASL products, so what else is new, I guess. This is a module that has been in the works, according to the intro of the magazine here, been in the works for on and off for 20 years, and it covers fighting between the Finns and the Russians slash Soviets between, I think, on and off between 39 and 44. And it includes new infantry units, some new armor, new battlefield tactics and fortifications, and things like that. But there's a lot here, so we better get started. And I am going to summarize some of this because we don't have time to go through everything in gory detail. All right. Comes with a very nice full color magazine, which Bounding Fire is really good at doing. And the articles basically talk about things like all the units, new fortifications. There's an article on Molotov cocktails, and a huge article. The two main articles are on um, new fortifications and winter weather, essentially, unsurprisingly. So the first part here, just some designer notes. They talk about Finnish support weapons, some new Finnish aircraft, maybe some German aircraft as well. Maybe they're all Finnish. Some new tanks and how they compare. I guess maybe not new. They're maybe rejiggered or reconfigured. How they compare from uh, Multiman Publishing stats versus their stats. Where uh, this right column is the note from Chapter H from Hakapale, and this is Bounding Fire's stats. So they tweaked some of the tanks just ever so slightly, maybe a few of them. Um, Russian Marines, and then there's a short description of all the new boards in here. I think there are four geoboards, regular geoboards. No, maybe three geoboards. One, maybe this is a combined board. Oh, we'll see when we get to the boards. Oh, this is a combined board. They're geoboards, but they go together. They can be used separately, but they're designed to go together. And then probably a Fortenberry style board with an A and B side here. So it looks like six boards, new boards. Article about the scenarios, article about the Finnish front, Finnish capabilities, Panzerfaust check die rolls for the Finns. So this some fleshes out the Finns, at least in Bounty Fire Productions interpretation, much more than the Multiman Publishing Finns that exist today. Lightwoods, prepared fire zones. Maybe they're slightly. I didn't read. I didn't read this entire thing. Maybe they're slightly different than regular MMP ASL. Okay, here's where the meat of this magazine starts. One of the articles. And this is talking about fortified pillboxes, which are essentially pillboxes on steroids. And they essentially work like pillboxes, but they have multiple covered arcs. You can see in any of these images, there's these red arrows that have uh, covered arcs that units can see out of. So this one's kind of a 360, and this is kind of a front facing. And generally, the way it works is stacking is the same. You can only have three. Well, you can only have three squads or squad equivalents per the 368. Um, but you can have more than one gun. You can have a gun, not a support weapon, but an actual gun. I believe in each of the uh, covered arc facings. And then you have to show where the units are within the bunker, which covered arc are they looking out of, and can they fire out of. And then I think there are some mechanics for close combat as well. If Russians enter the fortified bunker, they have to dictate which unit they're attacking in close combat through in which covered arc. So it's kind of this pillboxes on steroids, a little more detailed interpretation of pillboxes because I think the theory was these are pillboxes that were part of the Mannerheim line. I think it says in here somewhere. Yeah, right there, which was never finished, but these are steroids on bunkers or bunkers on steroids. And they go through a bunch of examples in this article on the mechanics of how these work. And later on there are fortified bunker play aids. So if you have a counter on the board with units in it, and you have a bunch of units and a bunch of guns or what have you, and close combat going on, there's these larger overlays that you can have on the side to represent how your units are distributed within these giant bunkers or pillboxes. Okay. I'm always impressed by their magazine layout. It's gloss, full color, really nice. More examples here. More examples, which is good, which leads me to believe the mechanics are a little bit. I mean, pillboxes are already a little complex, especially when it comes to assaulting them, and trying to get into close combat and units outside the bunker on top of it versus units inside, that kind of thing. This looks even more complicated than that because it's pretty extensive. Critical hits slash elimination versus pillbox and occupants play aid. Even more, still going. Examples article still going. Like I said, this is one of the biggest. Oh, it ends right here. This was one of the largest articles in here. And then we have anti-tank boulders, which is a new thing Bounty Fire Productions put into this module. And it is exactly what it sounds, anti-tank boulders. It's giant boulders that are stuck in the ground or dug up or placed to act as anti-tank barriers, essentially. And there's counters for that, and this talks about the mechanics or examples of that. There's a rule. The rule book comes later, but this is an article on those particular fortifications and how they work with examples. More mines, anti-tank boulders, woods, how they work together. Then a few more things: anti-tank ditch, movement breaches, Russian fascines, and Russian vehicle barges, how they work. You can see here, looks like the Russians have loaded up an AFV and they want to go across. Then we have a small section on Russian units, Finnish units, and the Finnish anti-tank heroes. Yeah. And then we have the next largest article, which is on winter weather. And as you know, a lot of the combat between the Russians and Finns during World War II took place during some form of winter. Not always, but often it did. So there's rules in here, special rules that make winter a little more complex, I think, than standard winter rules in ASL, MMP, ASL. Excuse me. And then there's an article back here, to the very end. I think this is an article on kind of the history of Molotov cocktails, where they came from, how they were used, and that kind of thing. And that's it for no, one more thing. Oh yeah, okay. Then an article on, I guess, tips and tricks for using Molotov cocktails on the ASL battlefield. That's it for the magazine. Okay, I'm going through in the order that they were stacked, shipped to me. Here are the fortified bunker play aids. There's different versions, different target facings, and you would cut these out. Maybe probably don't even have to cut them out. You could just have this on the side. You'd have the counter on the board, so you'd have bunker A, the counter on the board, and then you'd have your units placed in here. Much easier to read than having them stacked up on the board. Plus, you have to pick which covered arc those units are currently in, and movement between them during play. I'm not sure exactly how that works, but it's covered in the rule. Nothing on the backside. We have some charts, fold-out chart. We have anti-tank boulders, fortified pillbox info, and then winter weather. You can't see the whole thing, but winter weather play aid. Okay, counters. Bounding Fire Production makes really good counters. We have a bunch of utility counters that we're used to seeing. Um, got some Berserk units here, which is cool. Look like captured, I'm assuming these are captured leader counters. I mean, here's some captured prisoner counters. These are prisoners, or single man counter slash leader prisoners. Coax machine gun fire, bow, main armament fired, bypass movement, reverse motion, yeah. Armor leaders. Yeah. Make pretty nice counters. I did yeah, I forget what I call it. I did a big counter comparison nerd video a while ago. And I think Bounding Fire came out. I can't recall off the top of my head if they came out number one. They were number one or number two. They make really nice counters. Fin units. Have some ordnance vehicles, um, fighter bombers, more ordnance. Fortified pillboxes here, the counters that you would put on the board. And then we have some Russian armor down here, some drift counters. See if I can get a close up. Closer. Closer. Extreme. Okay, that's enough. And a bunch of Russian units. The sheet's mostly armor. Some more air support as well. And the backside of those. Those look nice too. Full color. Well, not full color, but silhouettes are pseudo color. And we have some infantry here. Some Russian, some Finns. Anti-tank heroes. Yeah, these are the anti-tank heroes here. And some armor leaders and a cupola, fascines, damage mine rollers. Quick close up of those. Boards. What do we got here? We got Bounding Fire Production S. It's like a village in the middle of some dense woods. They have, I've never really scrutinized, kind of have it upside down, scrutinized Bounding Fire Production boards closely, but I don't know if the shadow on the woods is new. I don't know if you can see it. Kind of on the edge, it looks like there's a shadow, which gives it a little bit of a 3D look, kind of cool looking. But yeah, standard geo board here. That was S. Here's T. We've got a hill with woods on it, an orchard and crag and a bunch of brush and a large building on one of the hills, or on the main hill here through the center. Other than the gully here, this could be used for starter kit. It just has that one level on it with a building on it. This could be used for starter kit as well. Board U, just woods, dense woods, basically. And I have it upside down again. Oh, there's no such thing as upside down on a geoboard. I just like to be looking at the hex numbers right side up. Okay, full woods. board U. This is board DW10, 10A. Let's see if I can get both of these kind of on here. These are the ones that go together. This is 10D, or B, sorry. And they go together. Probably got most of it on there like this. They can be used independently, but, well, I assume they can be used independently. That, well, at least on this edge and this edge, you wouldn't be able to put anything up on this edge because you can see, the woods patterns don't match up, nor does the road on hex row Q. But you could butt up any other geoboard on these three sides here. But these are meant to go together. DW10A and B, large city or town. And then the last one here is the what they call the Fortenberry style, HW1A and B, which is, essentially the same, at least from this level of looking. The level 2 hills, lots of brush, splotches of orchard and woods. All right, those are the boards. What's up next? Aircraft notes. This is not chapter H, it's just notes on aircraft or new aircraft. This is new chapter H, it looks like, for some new Russian vehicles. You can see it starts at number 10. I assume this follows on from Bounding Fire Productions chapter H numbering scheme, not MMP's. So in some other module, they probably go up to number 9, and this starts with number 10. Not going to go through these in all their gory detail. These are fins. Starting here, ordnance, was that vehicles, some ordnance. Yeah, okay. So basically I have all the chapter H for all the new stuff that's in here. And maybe some existing stuff. Next up we have the rules, the actual rules. The articles of the magazine do not substitute for the rules. These are the actual rules for Mannerheim Cross. So how fortified pillboxes work, pillbox cupolas, anti-tank boulder rules, fascines, Russian fascines. This is the barge. Yeah, that's too bad. They left this hanging heading on the bottom page. I should have bumped it up here. No biggie, I guess. And then the Russian units, Russian Marines, Finnish anti-tank heroes, Finnish assault engineers, and then the reduction path for each of the sides. Some footnotes. Okay, those are not a lot of rules. Only starts on BFP 11, goes to, the rules go to 16 essentially, not including footnotes. So 6 pages of rules, of actual rules, with a lot of examples in the magazine. Not too bad actually. And then couldn't figure out what this is. This looks like, I don't know why it starts on page 1. It looks like more chapter H. It goes 1 through 9. Wait a minute. Oh, it's just in the wrong place. Oh, no, wait. Yeah. I think this should be here. 1, 2, ends with 9. Table starts with 10. Yeah, that's supposed to be here. Okay. Hopefully I got that. That was, I didn't put that out of place. That was out of place in the stack when I opened it up. So hopefully I have everything I need and they didn't forget something. Okay. Scenarios. We have a whole host of scenarios starting with Bounding Fire 150 to, that's the back, to 193. So my math is correct. That's 44 scenarios. Yeah, 44 action-packed scenarios in full color. This is the back, obviously. So let's step through these. I fingered through them very quickly. Clearly, they're all Russia, Soviet Union versus Finns, and I believe numerically they are in chronological order. So we start in November 1939 and go to October 44. I believe they're pretty much in chronological order, but I'll just flip through them. Feel free to pause if you want to just take a look at what they are. I am not going to go through 44 scenarios in detail for every one. You can look at the size of the scenarios: 6 turns, 8 turns. I don't know if there's any monster scenarios in here. Did not notice that when I was going through. 8 turns, 8 turns, 7 turns, 8 turns, full color, as we're used to with Bounding Fire. Glossy, very nice. Uh, not It's thick stock, but not super thick. 6 turns. There was a 9.5 turner. 7.5 with a lot of armor. Oh, this goes with 163. Is that this one? Yeah. It's kind of I guess this is kind of a large scenario. Lots of fortifications, lots of fortifications. Wow. 28 anti-tank boulders, 26 ditches, 22 wire mines, prepared fire zones. I don't see any fortified pillboxes in this one though. Oh, there's one in this scenario. 5.5 turns. And you will need other modules, not just Bounding Fire. Well, I don't know if you need a different Bounding Fire production module to play this, but obviously you'll need other ASL scenarios to play this for map boards and maybe some utility. 9.5. Maybe it starts in the dark or low visibility or something. Missed. Okay. 8.5. 6.5. 8.5. 8. 10. So we're into. I wasn't paying attention to the dates. Lots of action in 41. The ones I've been going through have been mostly 40 and 41. Now we're into 42. Now we're into 44. Yeah, they're pretty much chronological, looks like. There are a couple large scenarios, but there's no jumbo, massive scenario. 15 turn monster with tons of units. Now we're into July 44, August 44, and October 44. That's the end of scenarios for Mannerheim Cross. And here's the back. Let's take a look briefly. Yeah, so here's the different parts. There's the Winter War, and then there's the Continuation War, then there's the Lapland War. But let's take a look at the contents. 44 scenarios, 912 counters, it looks like. The boards, some play aids, articles, the rules, chapter H's, and the Finn and Russian aircraft. But let's see what we need to play this. This is not a complete game. This is important for people who might want to buy this. Ownership of the following are required to play all the included scenarios. Not You can probably play some without some of these, but to play all of them, you need Blood and Jungle, which is interesting. Poland in Flames. They're probably using boards from these, I guess. Poland in Flames, Onslaught to Orsha 2, Into the Rebel 2, German, Finn, and Russian nationalities. There were no Germans in here, or no German counters in here. So you'll need extra counters to supplement whatever's in here from um, Beyond Valor for German and Russian, and then Hakapali for Finns. And then you'll need boards 1A, 2A, 7A, blah blah blah. Those boards and LFT board one. That's interesting. Okay, so that's it. I don't recall. I ordered this last year. I don't recall how much it was. 100 and well, I did the pre-order, so it was probably a little less. Little less. I'm thinking it was 130. Uh, but for an ASL product, I mean, we know what ASL prices are like these days for cardboard. Essentially, I mean, you're paying for the years of development, obviously. Um, but as far as the production of paper, it's actually fairly reasonable because there's a lot in this. You get a bunch of counters, nice magazine. What I say, 6 boards, 44 scenarios, bunch of play aids. So a bang for your buck from an ASL price point of view. It's actually not a bad value. Um, okay, that's it for Mannerheim Cross. Like I said, been in development for 20 years, according to I think it was Chaz Smith that wrote that article, and it's finally done. Mannerheim Cross, Bounding Fire Productions. If you're interested, pick it up.
Get to the chopper!
If you like what you saw, please like, share, and subscribe. If you didn't like what you saw, thanks for watching, and let me know how I can do better. See you in the next video.